Okay, number 5, we want to know which of the following numbers are divisible by 3. So, here's how we check divisibility by 3. It says, let me go to that rule. The rule says if the sum of the digits is divisible by 3, then so is the number. So what that means, I'm just going to take the first number, 784. I'm going to do 7 plus 8 plus 4. That gives me 15, 19. So 19 is not divisible by 3, so neither is 784. And then I will do 318. 3 plus 1 plus 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12 is divisible by 3, so 318 will be divisible by 3. So I'll go down here and find 318 and check it. So you're going to check all that apply. So we're going to be trying all these numbers. So if I do 100, it just gives me 1. That's not divisible by 3. If I do 4482, 4428, 4 plus 2 plus 8, that gives me 10, 18. 18 is divisible by 3, so 4,428 is as well. All right, so I've done the first column. Now I'm going to continue going. 4 plus 6 is 10. That's not divisible by 3. 18, 15. 1 plus 8 plus 1 plus 5. 9, 10, 15. 15 is divisible by 3, so 18, 15 is as well. And then 414. So 4, 1, 4. That gives us 9. 9 is divisible by 3. So is, looks like this whole last column maybe. Let's go down the last column. 52, 409. I'm just going to add these up. 7, 11 plus 9 is 20. 20 is not divisible. And then 10, 10, 14. 5, 6. 6 is divisible by 3. So it's 10, 14. 48, that gives us 12. 12 is divisible by 3, so 48 is as well. 21, 46. 10, 13. 13 is not. All right, the next number is 75. That gives you 12. 12 is divisible by 3, so 75 is divisible. And then you can continue going in that fashion. Of course, you can also use calculator, but using those divisibility rules will help you. So if I did 26 divided by 3, not. If I did 116,403, again, it's not that bad doing it by hand. I get a whole number, so that big number is divisible by 3. 489. 163, so 49 is. And then 823. I'll do this last one by hand. So 823. 8 plus 2 plus 3. 10, 13, and that's not 13. It's not. So it should be these numbers that we have checked. We've checked every single number, and those are the ones that are divisible by 3. All right, this one wants us to find all the factors. So all the factors means we want to find all the numbers that multiply to give us 98. So there is a method that I will show you. We first need to break this down into prime numbers. So you need to be aware of what prime numbers are. So prime numbers are numbers that can only be multiplied by 1 in itself to get that number. So let me try to show you prime numbers again. I'm going to go Google and I'm going to just look for prime numbers. Prime numbers. Let's just go 1 to 100. Usually I have students write down the first up to 50. So these numbers that are in yellow are prime. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19. Most of them are odd, but not every odd number is prime, and the first prime number is actually 2. So the rule is you multiply 1 times itself to get that number, and it has to be 2 different factors, so therefore 1 is not prime. So I'll just make a small list of prime numbers up here. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, and usually, you know, we can keep going, but we'll stop there. In order to list all the factors, this is the method that I say. We're going to take 98. And we're going to break it down into prime factors, so numbers of this nature. So since this is even, I can divide it by 2, and 2 times 49 will give me 98. So now I'm not looking at 98, I'm looking at 2 times 49. And then 2 is prime, so I'm going to leave it. And then 49 is 7 times 7. So these are my prime factors, 2, 7, and 7. So 2 times 7 times 7. If you multiply this, it will give you 98, which is what we started with. I'll just show you that. 2 times 7 times 7. We get 98. All right. And then when we begin to list all the factors, we want to start with 1 times itself. So factors would be 1 and 98, and I'm going to skip space. So 1 times 98 will give you 98. And then I want to start going through the list. 2, is it divisible by 2, by 3, by 4, and so on. Now, I'm going to be using these prime factors to help me. So I look here. I do have the number 2 here, so I'm going to write the number 2 down. That's a factor. Now, the remaining numbers that I did not use, I'm going to multiply them together. That's going to be my other factor. So 7 times 7 is 49, which makes sense because that was the first thing I did. 2 times 49. Now, I'm going through here. Do I see a 3? Or can I even make a 3 if I multiply it? I can't. 4, nope. 5, nope. 6, nope. 7, I do have a 7. So look, I can just take one of these 7s. I'm going to write down 7. And the numbers left, 2 times 7, are going to make up the remaining number. So 2 times 7 would be 14. And then after that, that's all that I can make, because there's no way I'm going to get 9 or 10. And if I keep going, I'll get to 14. And 14 times 7 is the same thing. So these are all my factors. What I did was wrote down 1 times itself, and then I started using my prime numbers, trying to find out every number I can make, counting from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. And I use all combinations of this number. So once I used 2, the other numbers made up here. So that was 7 times 7. And then once I used 7, okay, the other numbers made up the remaining, which was 2 times 7. So I'm always using all the numbers, but I'm using 1 at a time, or however many I need at a time, and then whatever's left make up my remaining digit. So that is a method to find all the factors. 1, 2, 7, 14, 49, and 98.